Would you understand the relationship with your mom was like his first like major relationship or major love, so to speak? Because he's showing me these stair steps, and he shows me stepping onto the first step, and that gives me the feeling of like that being the first major, right, romantic relationship. And would you understand, like, was he pretty fairly young when they got together? When they 20s? Because he showed me getting onto the step and like looking behind him. So I don't know if I'm looking at my childhood.
He was in his 30s.
Oh, 30s. Okay. Did he like move for her, or was there some sort of like big life change that he made for your mom or something? Because he shows me getting onto the step and like looking behind him as though there was something he left behind him for her or for that relationship. I'll leave that with you. That's the feeling he's giving me, though. Let me see where he's going with this. You understand, he shows me holding you as a baby, and I'm hearing light of my life, light of my life. But then you understand, eventually he moves to the second step, right? But you understand, like, staying together, his love for you, molding them together longer than they otherwise would have.
Yes.
Okay. Because he shows me this image of like looking down at you, and you're like really lit up, and your mom kind of like off to the side, and it almost feels as though he knew that they weren't well matched, but you were the glue that drew him, or like, okay, he wanted to make it work for you. Okay. But eventually he had to turn away. Okay. Because he's showing me like eventually I had to do this. So for some reason he's showing me your mom like really far away. I don't know. Would you understand, like, is there emotional distance between you and her? Okay. Because in this image he's like holding you and your mom's like 10 feet away, which, you know, stereotypically it would be the opposite, right? But not in this image.
Yes, that's right.
And he's going like this. He's going like this, and I'm hearing daddy's girl, daddy's girl.
100%.
And I'm also hearing Mr. Mom. So did you understand he played like dual roles at times? Did your mom like sort of suffer with some depression or something growing up? Because he's putting her in shadow, and that's usually my symbol for like depression. Okay. And she feels, when I feel into her, she feels sort of like there's a lot of anger inside of her, probably from past stuff that she has, you know, going on with her. And he does do this towards her. So there is love for her and wanting to soften her, trying to soften her from spirit. And you understand, so he's moving on to the second step, which is metaphorical, and he's like turning around and going to take your hand as if wanting to take you with him. Okay. You understand that he never turned his back on you throughout his life. Even, you know, as you became an adult, throughout his life, he was always including you, always wanting to take you with him on his life journeys, on his next steps, is what he's showing me here. Do you have something going on with the faucet where you live, or is it like dripping or something? Or is there,
the faucet, like in the sink?
Yeah.
I mean, I just moved to a new house and I hate the faucet at the sink, but it's not broken. It's just, it acts funny.
If he were if he were here, would he be like offering to change it for you or something? Because he was showing me a wrench and he was taking me to the faucet. He made me feel like fixing the faucet or doing something to the faucet.
Yeah, he wasn't really like handy like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean it acts funny? You mean like, because he makes me feel like it needs to be fixed.
It's like a sensor. I've been telling my boyfriend I want to change it because I have to like tap the sensor to get it to go on, and I hate it.
Oh, that's what he was saying then. You've been saying you want to change it, and he's making me feel like fixing it, changing it. He was showing me going under the sink, which he would do to take the faucet off and change it. Just validating that he's around you now and has heard those conversations.
Yeah.
He's also showing me what looks like a lifesaver candy. I haven't seen those in years. I don't know if they even still make those. Show me a green.
They do.
Do you know why he's showing me one of those?
I just bought them at the dollar store, and I like loved them, and I didn't realize they still made them. So it was like a treat that I just like stumbled across and was happy to buy.
Oh, very cool. The validating is with you. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't seen those in years. I've seen the gummy ones, but not the. Yeah.
Either have I until recently.
I know that you told me you recently moved when he brought up the faucet thing, but he's showing me this image of him getting down on his knee and you putting your hand out and him putting a key in it. So were you having problems like finding a place or something, and then like you just stumbled upon one when you were losing hope? Finding something? Because he gives me the feeling of like I sent it to you, because he's showing me putting this key in your hand.
That's so weird, because when I was like looking, I was like ready to give up, and I prayed to him. I said, Dad, just bring me a house.
Yeah, he showed me getting down on one knee like somebody would when they're proposing, and you putting your hand out and he's laying this key in your hand. Very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. His humor is, he's funny, but he's kind of like a little bit in a dorky way too. Because he's showing me a walkie-talkie now, as though like 10-4, like I have the walkie-talkie and you have one walkie-talkie. Because he makes me feel like the two of you talk a lot, even if you don't necessarily hear him back. You two talk a lot because he's putting this walkie-talkie up to his ear, and it's interesting. It's an interesting choice because as he puts it up to his ear, you know how a lot of the times walkie-talkies have like a lot of static, and you have to listen through the static. He's making me hear that. Like I can always hear you even through all the noise, all the static. And he's saying if you're quiet enough, you can hear me back too. Have you had like, quiet moment thoughts where you have thought to yourself, was that you? And then you're like, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't him, that was me. He's like, no, if you're quiet enough, you'll hear me through the static, you know, the metaphorical static.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also why he's using the walkie-talkies here. Because he's saying, like, that is me. So the best way to tell, this is me talking, but the best way to tell is when it's out of context. So if a thought just comes in and you're not thinking about him in that moment, out of context, it's most definitely him. And if your first gut instinct is that's him, don't doubt that, okay? Everybody can hear back from their loved ones, everybody can. And he's going, I think he's wanting to say something about mom, because I'm hearing mom. Or is it his? Is his mom still alive? Still living? Okay. So she's over there. Because would you understand his mom looking like very, very elderly, or looking much older than she was, or being like way up there?
She was way old, 90.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because there's this woman who looks like pretty old. Which is why I thought she was still here. And kind of short, too. Okay, so it's he's talking about, because she's coming forward and kind of taking him through the arm. Feels a little bit like she's pretty serious, not like the super lovey-dovey maternal type of mom, a little bit crabby sort of feeling. So he's holding Dad's hand with one hand, and Mom has her arm linked with his on the other side. He's showing me sitting down. So this is sort of strange, but he's showing me sitting down on an office chair in front of a computer and spinning around. And he's giving me like the wee, like acting like having fun. And he's pointing at you and he's doing this. And he gives me this definite feeling of like, you understand you have been, like, trying to word this correctly. I'm hearing the word sourpuss is what I'm hearing. You understand you have not been allowing yourself to really enjoy life lately, not have much fun. You've kind of been down. And even more so than down, you used to be somebody who was more happy-go-lucky, laughing, really loved having fun, and you've fallen into this slump of like serious, you don't laugh as much anymore. And part of it is grief and missing him and loss, but part of it is just you've gotten in a slump in general, as he makes me feel. And he's coming behind you and he's putting his hands on your shoulders and he's kind of like shaking you, and he's like, loosen up, Buttercup, loosen up. And he's kind of like shaking you gently and trying to make you happy and like trying to get you back to the old you. Because you understand feeling as of late as though the old you is like eons away. Okay.
Yes.
And he's trying to help get the old you back. And he's showing me like drawing a smile on your face. And he's like, I want to see my baby smile again. And it's not that you don't ever smile, it's just that when you do smile, you're still not who you were behind the smile, okay? And he's kissing you on the top of the head as he stands behind you, and he's like, I'm here so much. He says, feel me. He's trying to share his energy with you. And I'm hearing the words joy. And he says, know that I am joyful. So he is experiencing insurmountable joy and happiness, and he's trying to share some of that with you. And you understand that part of the problem, you feel very much alone, and the people that you do have around you, they have a lot of negativity within them. It feels like the family members that you have or the friends that you have, they feel very, they're vibrating low, or like they are struggling with problems of their own and they have like their own negativity. And he's saying rise above that. Just because they are the way they are doesn't mean that you need to absorb, doesn't mean that you need to come down to their level. You are who you are, be your own person. He's saying make your own smiles. And he's saying chin up, and he's putting his finger under your chin. And he's saying, I want nothing more for you. I want nothing more for you than this. And he's putting your chin up. You understand that when he was here in the physical, just talking to him would brighten you up. If you were having a bad day, just talking to him and hearing his voice would raise you up. And he's saying, start your days by talking to me. If you get out of bed and you feel like it's going to be one of those days, she says, start your day by talking to me and try to feel the energy raise. Start it that way. And he's like, I'm hearing the words, remember that walkie-talkie, lean into my energy is what he's saying. Lean into my energy. And I also feel like he didn't really, like, parts of him, like, didn't mince words either. Regarding those other people who are negative, he's like, who needs them? Who needs them? If there are people who are toxic or there are people who get you down, he's showing me a cell phone and they call you, he's like, don't answer. Send their calls to voicemail.
Yeah, that's how he was.
He's like, who needs them? Let me see if he has a couple more pieces here and then a closing message for you. Who has a little dog? He showed me one twice now. I feel like it's probably living.
My dog, one of my dogs is little.
Okay. What are you showing me? Is that dog like the troublemaker dog or the dog that like gets like the mischievous dog?
I would say so.
Okay. He's giving me that feeling. I don't know why he's bringing that dog up and not the other one, but I definitely want to like lean down and pet it. And
she was obsessed with him.
Oh, okay. So perhaps he's saying he visits and maybe she sees him. I'm not sure why he's bringing her up instead of both of them, or however many dogs you have. But I definitely feel like mischievous, like troublemaker too, type of energy. Is one of your dogs 8 years old, or is there something with the number 8? Your birthday's August.
Yeah.
One of your dogs. Okay. It was showing me a hexagon dog tag, and I was trying to count the edges. So he was giving me a feeling. Yeah, it showed me a dog tag in the shape of a hexagon. I'll leave that with you as well. I felt like I wanted to count the edges for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My one dog died in August. I don't know if that's...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. While we're on the subject of dogs, that's why he was showing me that. And he's showing me he's making a heart. That's his way of saying he's with the dog.
I've asked him that in prayer.